All right, welcome everybody. So today we are going to learn some English. C'est parti.
加油
Vamos. What does this say? Team. Okay, not a bad guess. It's actually Tim. Yes, that is what he said. He said team. Yeah, it's just a little bit different. It's Tim. Team. 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 Timor. 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 Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Let's all try it together. Ready? Tim. Team. 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 Tim. Team. 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 Tim. Team. 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 Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the TMax. I make videos about travel, language, culture, food, pretty much anything that suits my fancy. So if you like those kinds of videos, go ahead and hit subscribe below. If you're not interested in those types of videos, go ahead and hit subscribe below. And if you somehow randomly wandered onto my channel, go ahead and hit subscribe below. So recently I did a video that compared all the languages that I speak, French, Spanish, English, and I am learning Chinese. I was just comparing the learning process for me with all these different languages. If you haven't seen that video yet, you can find a link in the description below. In today's video, we're going to take an even closer look at these languages and compare some specific sounds. Like you saw in the skit at the beginning, I just picked out a few sounds that I remember that were very distinct in each of these languages, and some sounds that each language does completely differently, because that's interesting to me. Okay, so let's just jump right in. The letter R. In English, the letter R is just a r sound. There aren't too many differences in how we pronounce this letter, whether it's at the beginning, in the middle, or the end. In French, they have very similar r sound, especially if it's at the beginning of a word or in the middle somewhere, or if it's toward the end and there's no sounds after it. Paris, terre, bière. But then there is a special guttural R that exists in French. It's usually after a double consonant sound like a TR or PR. So for example, très. Très. So that R came from all the way deep down in my throat, brought all the phlegm up with it, and just très. And it's like, it hits the top, back roof of your mouth. I mean, you feel this R when you say it. And when I first started learning French, I could not say this R, and I just had to practice it. It was very difficult, and eventually I could, you know, I almost coughed up a lung. In Spanish, they have two types of R's, the single R and the double R. The single R is very similar to the French and English R, just a r sound. But then they have this double R sound. It's that sound of a cat purring. It's hit or miss with me. I don't know why. I can sometimes do it and I sometimes can't. But it's perro. But if you're a dog, it would be perro. And I cheat on that. I know how to like cheat the sound, but it's not actually rolling it. So when I'm in conversation with Spanish people, they're like, okay, that was too long of an R to be the normal pero, but it's not rolled, but we get what you're trying to do here. And then sometimes I just rip it out and be like, and they're like, wow, you're so native. And I'm like, well, you know, and then the next word I say, it doesn't work. So gotta keep practicing. In Chinese, they also have two types of R's, even though there's no R in Chinese. Anyway, there's two sounds very similar to the R sound in Chinese. In Pinyin, rang, R-A-N-G, but ren is R-E-N, but that R sound, they're not the same. One is very distinct and the other one is very light. It's the opposite of the double R in Spanish. The levels of R would be ren, it's very soft, ren, and then next level would be the English R, the Spanish one R, most of French R's, the right, wrong, and then the next one is that French guttural R, that très, and then up here is that Spanish double R, that carro, where they just roll it for however long they'd like to. The letter L. In English, one L or two L's is still a l sound. Pull, play, doesn't matter if it's the beginning, middle, end, it's usually just the L sound. In French, it depends on the word. One L normally is an L sound like bol or mal, but if that L is not the last letter in the word, you might not even say it. For example, fils, And then you come over to double L. Sometimes you don't say that either, like fi, but then vil. You do pronounce the L. So that one, you just kind of got to know which words are pronounced like what. Spanish is similar to French, where single L versus double L have different sounds. Single L is just an L sound, like vale. And then if you add an L in there, it becomes valle. The L, double L becomes a Y sound. And that's pretty much every double L in Spanish is going to have a Y sound, yeah, instead of a l sound. As I mentioned in the last video, most of Chinese is open vowel sounds, so you don't find consonants at the end of their words very often. So with the L, it's always at the beginning and you always hear it. So li, lao, shi, lu. You'd never find an L at the end of a word. It's only at the beginning. Won't even find it in the middle. Only at the beginning, and it's an L sound. The letter V. In English, it's a v sound, like Vivaldi, or as the Fresh Prince pronounces it, Vivaldi. Doesn't really have any other sounds, just v, where you're biting that lip, v. When you get to French, exactly the same as English, just a v sound, ville, voiture. You'll say the V sound, even if it's in the middle, like fleuve. You hear the V sound in French. So Spanish has the letter V in the alphabet, and they spell words with this, but they pronounce it like the letter B. This can be kind of confusing because there's some words that sound exactly the same, like vaya and vaya, so you have to know context of what you're talking about. But there will never be a v sound in Spanish, even if somebody's name is Victor. And when I lived in Spain, I knew a lot of Victors, and they were all Victor, Victoria. In Chinese, the letter V doesn't exist at all. So when some Chinese people are speaking English, they struggle with this v sound, and they end up making a w sound. So in China, you often hear, "Oh, I'm very tired," instead of very tired, or Victor instead of Victor. It's like the opposite of German, where they make their W's V sounds, like Volkswagen. China would do it the other way. They would say Volkswagen. Okay, team, are you ready? Sí, venga. Oh, no. Is venga. 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 Very good. Okay. The NG sound is a nasally ny sound, and in English we only use this when we've taken it from French or Spanish or another language that uses this sound. Instead of ny, making that ny sound, we'll separate it like in, y. So there's an N sound and then a Y sound. For instance, every year in the US, El Nino comes and it's El Niño instead of Niño. Like, it's not one sound in English. We separate it. And if you say it fast enough, it probably sounds the same, but it's not the same sound. Niño is Spanish. This sound is denoted by the tilde, so the N with the tilde on top. This lets you know that it's not a n sound, but a ny sound. So if you accidentally say pino instead of pino, probably not a problem. But if you want to say año and you say ano, in French they have the exact same sound. It's just a ny sound, but it's represented by a gn. So this is mignon or oignon, and it's just a ny sound, which already goes well with the rest of the nasally French sounds. So in Chinese, it's actually an ng sound that makes this ny sound, usually if it's ing. Lamb, for instance, yang, is pretty much yang. Like you hear it, you kind of hear the G sound. But then you get into yng, for instance, like movie, dian yung. So yung, so the G kind of disappears and it becomes this ny sound. C and K. So in English, a C is either a k sound or an S sound. For instance, the word circle, one C is pronounced like an S, the other C is pronounced like a K. All K sounds in English are k, strong K sound. And for good measure, if you have CK, it's just still k, same sound, which is like that k sound, I guess. So in French, the C sound is the k, that K sound, unless it has the cédille under it, then that would be a S sound. In French, most words that start with the K sound usually are QU as the beginning. So, qu'est-ce que c'est? Those are all Q's. And if you ever see a French word that starts with the letter K, it's probably imported from another language because there are no actual French words that start with K. Spanish, just like French and English, have two sounds for the letter C. It's either an S sound or a K sound. But in Spain, where I learned Spanish, they have a thetheo, so that means C and Z sounds before vowels. Instead of having a S sound, there's more of a sound, like a TH in front of the S. And so when I first moved to Spain, I thought everybody just had a lisp until I learned that it was part of the language. And now when I speak Spanish, I say hacer instead of hacer. Through habit and repetition, I now thethea. So in Chinese, they have the K sound, k, like kao ya, Beijing kao ya. But if you put a C in front of a word, it's actually like a TS sound. Grass, for instance, is cao. And if I said that with the wrong tone, I probably just said a curse word. I didn't mean to. Still working on the tones.
D'accord. Okay. How do you spell bateau? Bon. And how do you spell awkwardness?
So the next two sounds are a bit interesting. It's actually a comparison of the X sound and the SH sound. In English, the SH, the sh sound, would either come from a word that has SH or a word that has CH. Probably because we took it from French, because in French, the CH is an SH sound. But in English, if you have an X, if it's at the end of a word, it's probably gonna have a CKS sound like x, like kicks, the cereal. Sounds like kicks, like he kicks somebody. But X at the beginning, usually we taking it from Greek or Latin, so it's probably gonna have a Z sound, a Z, like Xerxes. Yeah, I watched the 300 a couple of days ago, so yeah. So like I mentioned in French, the sh sound is gonna come from CH, and there actually are no French words that are spelled SH that are of French origin. All SH words have been imported, so that sh sound is going to be CH or a non-French word. And just like in English, X at the end of a word is going to have this x sound, like asterisk. I can't say that I've ever seen a French word that starts with X. Should have did some research and I didn't. So leave a comment below, let me know, are there French words that start with X? So in Spanish, the sh sound doesn't even exist. There's no words that have sh in it. If it's a CH, it's going to be ch. So just like French, all SH words in Spanish have been imported from outside the language. And then we get to Chinese, where the X and the SH sound the same to me. And this is just my personal thing. The only reason you know if it's an X or an SH at the beginning of the word is the sound that comes after it. The vowels change their sound based on if it's an X or an SH. So for instance, President Xi, XI, right? But if you put SHI, then it's sh. And then XU automatically becomes that U sound that we talked about in the last video, so it'd be shu. But an SHU is shu. There's one way of telling if it's an X or SH, but the sound is exactly the same, which makes Pinyin super weird because you have two sounds that are exactly the same, but you spell them differently. What were they thinking? I don't know. Finally, we have the J sound, the J sound. So in English, juice, just, any word that starts with the J is going to have a J sound. but also words that we've imported from French, like genre. English speakers will pronounce it genre, like the same J sound. And in French, the G sound has the J, like genre, but also J words have a J sound like je, like j'aime cet genre. So the J and the G have the same sound. It's not quite a J, it's a ZJ, but it's the closest thing to English, and it's consistent with both of those letters. Spanish does not have the J sound. If you see the letter J, it's going to be pronounced like an H, like Javier. But many English speakers will know that when they're speaking to native Spanish speakers, when they pronounce words that start with a Y, they often hear a J sound from the Spanish speakers, like Ju. What are you doing here? I don't know why they make this J sound. I don't know where it comes from, because there's no J in Spanish. There's no J sound. So it's a combination of two other sounds that end up sounding like a J. And in Chinese, back again with whoever created Pinyin making all this fun stuff for us learners. The J and the ZH. To me, they sound exactly the same. J sound. But again, based on the vowels that follow it, will change the sounds a little bit. But this one's hard to tell because, like we talked about in the last video, Chinese has the two U's, the U and the U. That is hard to hear that in fast conversation. So the J-U is Ju, it's the U sound, Ju. ZHU is Ju, Ju, Ju. So if you're not a native speaker and somebody talking really fast, that's the same word. And then you throw tones on it. Now there's 8 different ways to say the same thing, and there's probably like 50 ways to say each of those different tones. It gets complicated. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. If I left something out, feel free to throw it in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you have ideas, suggestions, let me know. I'd love to hear from those of you who are watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and to comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Chu, shu, chu. Okay, very good. English and Spanish. French, ch, 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 chu. Chu. Ah, yeah, there you go. K, K, Q, Chue, 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 Chue. Okay, yeah, very good. You guys got it. You're pronouncing it pretty well. This isn't so hard. Chinese is way easier to read than I imagined. Yeah, we can do this all day. Oh no, this isn't Chinese. This is Pinyin. This is Chinese. Wait, where are you guys going? You guys are 5% of the way done with level pre-0. After you finish this, only 6 weeks of level 0, followed by 5 months of post-0, and then you're ready for level 1. Guys, come back!